Hello again, it's Mr. Pete, your internet shop teacher, and welcome to my What Is It series, and this is episode number 60B, the answer. Make sure you have watched 60A or this may not make sense to you. So we got 5 items plus the bonus item, the transmission out in the garage, so we'll cover all these real quickly. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the comments, and there were some wonderful guesses. Some funny. Number one, quite a few people knew what this was or is. I did not know myself, but it is a valve seat cutter. And thank you guys for sending these in. Thanks, Bob. And the cutters are not in here correctly, I'm told. And this goes in, I believe, a special machine that you would use to cut those valve seats in engine heads or engine blocks. So that's what number one is. Well, you've all watched those Frankenstein movies, and in those movies there was always apparatus, and boiling cauldrons and crazy stuff that had nothing to do with the movie. They call that set dressing. But anyway, there usually is a rod of some kind, and it can be held in a stand or on a clamp that goes over the end of the bench, and then there were just all kinds of clamps that held test tubes and Erlenmeyer flasks and you name it. So some of this was more adaptable to physics where they needed a little bit more strength. So look at this one here by Central Scientific that somebody sent me some time ago. It goes on larger rods really. And I've used some of these in my videos, but this one would simply clamp on like this. This is a 1/2 inch rod, and it's a V. Now you wouldn't hold glassware in this, but other apparatus, and then it could be rotated as well, and then locked. So it's just a science item from a school lab. Thanks, Ellie. Item 3 sent to me by Craig. Again, a lot of good guesses on this, but I just don't believe that anybody really got it. So many people said, well, it's to drive eye bolts or eye screws, larger than this probably. But I don't see the need for that. Plus, you need a wrench or a socket on top of this. So, and whenever I drive any of these, you don't need a wrench, you need a screwdriver. They even suggested that it was used by the power company to put in those stays, those augers that go in the ground to support poles, prevent them from tipping over and all of that, but I don't think that's big enough for that. Then a lot of people said, oh, that's for the gas. Turn off your gas valve. Oh, come on. Let's go out and look at one of those. So then a lot of people said, well, that's for turning off the gas valve. So you put it on here. That's the valve. Put your wrench on there and turn away. But that's about as stupid as I ever heard, because why wouldn't you just put your wrench on here? Well, you would. And then I've shown you fireman tools also that are used for turning off gas valves. Well, some people suggested that it's used to turn water valves off. They're down in the ground. But I've owned those wrenches, and that's not it. So I don't believe we got an answer for this. Someone said steam valves. Well, steam valves usually are those big wheels. All right, item 4 sent to me by Ray Jaramillo out in Denver is an M45 RPG rocket training fuse. I don't know if anybody got that. They knew it was military, but there it is, fuse rocket dummy. Oh man, that's from 1949. Wow. And that's, I suppose, where powder or something went in. I'm not really sure. But let me show you some pictures that he sent along. Well, there's a picture of the rocket, and that's the fuse. Another picture showing the individual components, and of course this would have been used in the training school in the Army. Number 5 absolutely shocked me. Again, Ray sent that to me. Several people knew what this was. I had no clue. I just thought it was a component of something and, you know, absolutely useless. But here is what it is, and it's used in conjunction with a die filing machine. There's a picture of the die filing machine, and there is the item in question, and then a little bit larger picture of it right here. So one Mr. John Nathan sent me this brochure here. It's 3 or 4 pages for the All-American Precision Filing Machine. So this must have been a pretty deluxe machine, because you can see that it's got a light and a magnifying glass, and it's got the hold down, and it's got the blower, and it's got the gauge, and it's got the stand, and you know, it's just got the whole ball of wax. So there are probably still a few of these around. But what does that little item do, you are saying? There it is again, and it says the patented file setting square, 2 devices that guarantee instant true vertical file positioning. And John wanted this, so I'm going to pass this on to him. I don't think it's necessary for me to use with my die filer the way it's set up, but thanks for sending that, John, and I'll be getting this out to you in the near future. And I've seen a lot of different die filers in my life, but I've never have seen one of these. Well, that's the chuck on the die filer, and you can see by what I'm guessing that it's probably pretty hard to get it in there square. So what you do is adjust the tilting of the table in 2 axes using this until you get it either on 0 or half or 1 degree. And I think the half degree and 1 degree are important settings when you are making certain types of punches and dies. Alright, I showed you this transmission in the last video. Actually, I have 2 of them. The other one's over there. Pretty much identical. And many people identified this as a Ford Model A transmission. So I have determined absolutely that is what this is. And I bought these 2 when I had the insane idea that I could put one of these on my bandsaw to reduce the speed. But you know, it's larger than the bandsaw, so it was a stupid idea, but I bought them and saved them from the scrap man who was standing right next to me with his yellow chalk. I did a bit of research myself. There's a Model A engine, and there's the transmission, and I have positively identified it. Thanks for watching, and stand by for a little information on shop lights, machine lights. This is a nice little LED light with a magnet on it. It'll fit on any machine. It won't burn you. It's very bright, and this was sent to me by BANGGOOD. Now, BANGGOOD does not pay me for this. However, they did send it to me free, and I have used it on the Bridgeport, and right now, of course, I'm on my little shaper, and it's just as bright as heck. And I'll put the link down in the description. And be sure and watch for my 10-part video on the restoration of this little 7-inch South Bend shaper. And thank you for watching. This is Mr. Pete saying so long for now, and I'll see you in my next video.